what is next? Next, of course, is going to be writing. So we need somehow a function that lets us write back the tasks that we have in memory, which remember that are split between to-dos and don'ts. We need to convert back into a file. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to the list. I want to do it on the list. It's not the list that I want, because the list in the data that I have in memory, it just has or the to-dos or the don'ts. It doesn't have both. So I actually need to do it over the arrays. Okay, so I can do an extension on the array. I set array, where the element is a list. Okay. And this should be, it shouldn't be that hard, right? Like I just want to do a save to file path, and this can throw because saving always can fail. So I have this, so let's see how we can use this. So where do we want to save? Where do we want to save? I guess we want to save when you quit the application, at least. So we want to save when we quit the application. It's kind of, at least for sure, to make sure we didn't lose any data. I think that should be fine. So let's say list, well, it's not list, right? Because I should do to do and done, and now I can save to the file path. So that will save. Let's try that. Well, it won't save, but doesn't crash, right? Okay. But I'm thinking we should also save when you mark it as done, right? Which we're doing with this. So when we do this, we should also save. Should I do a small refactor or something to pull them together? Let's keep going like this. I don't want to derail this. So let's do it also when you do a new line, okay? But let's implement the save, because otherwise we don't know exactly what we are doing. So let's implement the save, which in theory it should be. So we need all the, okay, so first let's get the to-dos. And the to-dos are, if I go to the first position on the array, and that's what I meant with a little refactor, I think I should probably, if not make a struct that holds both, at least make an array that holds both, and then stop using them. Because otherwise, if you mistakenly send the to-dos and don'ts in the wrong order, it's gonna be broken, right? Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be, right? I guess I can do this instead. Okay, so let's do this. Tasks. Because remember the decision I took at the beginning, which was the to-do has the completed flag in it. And the whole point of that was actually to help me to deal with these things. So I don't really care in which list you are in memory, because the specific task is still gonna have the information that I need. So I actually can just go and say, for self flat map, is it a flat map? I'm confused now. So this is gonna give me a list, right? And then, so I have a list here, which I don't know which one it is. To-dos, don'ts, I don't know, I don't care. And then I actually can go into the list elements, right? And map it. And here I have a task, or let's say it's a to-do. Let's call it task because it's annoying otherwise. Okay, so I have a task. So now I can basically create a string which looks like this and a message. So the message is easy because it's just task text. And this is where we actually need to check if task is completed, which I probably should rename this. If it's completed, let's put an X. Otherwise, let's put a space. So we're kind of reversing the parsing. And I know the Point3 has like a recent series, a new series, where they actually talk about reversible parsers, and it's a topic I've been fascinated for years. So I'm very excited to see like how that ends up. But for now, you know, we just do it the old school and we repeat the code. So in theory here we have array of strings correctly, which is all the tasks in our program, right? We could maybe sort them or do something like that, but I don't really care. And the fact that they get reordered, it doesn't matter to me, you know, because the idea is that if you want to work with the file itself manually, you can, but if you use the application, it's much better. So like you shouldn't care about the order of the files, right? That's kind of like the idea. If we wanted to keep the order, then things get more complicated, and that's why we are not doing it. So now we have the tasks. So to get the string, I can just do, I don't have to do anything else, right? I have the the contents, if we say, and we say just task joined task joined by separator, and we put it everyone on a new line, and now we have just a single string that contains all the file contents that we want. And at that point we can just say contents write to file, yeah, there you go, write to file, the file path that we are given, we do it atomically, and we say UTF-8, I guess. And that should be saving it. Okay, cool. So if we show the example, there are two tasks. First one is done, some pending task, and second, it's pending, and the second one, it's done. If we run the application, we see that. And if I mark this one and I quit, I should see how now both are marked as done. That was easy, right? It's like we just reversed the process, but it's very easy to reverse the process. You just go to everything you have and you save it. You convert it to a string, save the file, done, right? One cool thing we could do maybe it's to show this actually when the saving happens. Let's try to open it with Visual Code. Who knows when what's gonna be displayed here. Okay, only the example, that's cool. So if I do, I'm not sure if this is gonna be live rendering, but let's do this. So if I do this, automatically it's updated. So we can see how we automatically update the file every time we change something. Which is cool, it's cool. That confirms that we are actually saving every time you do an action, right? And the next action we'll have to implement is actually inserting new to-dos, which is gonna be the next step. But for now, we're reading a file, we're saving things, we actually can do here streaming this development is cool. And we do this and we run it and we sit there and we say this is done and this is done. See? Perfecto. That's cool. And in theory, I don't have no, well, I can open this, you'll see what I mean. I can open this with this, so I'm using Typhora, and you can see how even Typhora detects that this is a to-do. So that's what I actually wanted, right? Like you can mark it here and here, for example, you can save it, and if you run the application, you know, it behaves as you expect, right? So you have a rich interface, rich in the terminal, of course, to work with your tasks while still being just a text file, and you can work as a text file if you want to. Of course, if you mess up, you know, then the application complains, right? Maybe another way of doing it, which is kind of more advanced, but like another way of doing it is actually like keeping the original places where each line is, ignoring the ones that fail. And so when you are modifying them, you just modify the exact lines where the to-do is. That will allow us to actually put content between the lines, between the tasks, and merge things together, right? But of course, that's way more complicated.